Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a video, so mostly because I've been trying to get my head around some of the journaling styles that are out there, and so without any further ado, I just want to tell you very shortly what this is about. I wanted to get myself better organized and find some methods that really sort of honed in on the needs that I had in particular, and it's been a year since I started this and I have learned a lot. So I want to share with you the methods that work for me. Now I'm going to do this in little bits and pieces because I don't want to overwhelm you with what I've been doing. So this first video is going to be about the lanyard that I have around my neck, and it'll just be a series of little snippets, probably about 5 minutes long, maybe each, so you don't end up having to go through an entire, say, 20-minute video or hour-long video to get what you need. It will just be a case of going through a 5-minute video to find that exact little piece of information that you were looking for to help you get yourself more organized as well. So, the lanyard. When I first started this, there seemed to be this overwhelming number of variety in various journals and journaling methods and systems. And I familiarized myself with as many of them as I possibly could back October 2018, and I wanted to get myself organized for what I considered the year of preparation for the year of clear vision. 2019 for me would be the year of preparation, and 2020 the year of clear vision. And this is because I don't find it a coincidence that the physical capability of sight that everyone wants seems to be this 2020. Here we've got this year that is that number. Somehow it just seemed so right on to be trying to get my life really on track at that time, because hey, I had a year to prepare for that year of clear vision. So towards the end of 2018, around the beginning of October, I started getting into journaling because I realized how much I was trying to hold inside my head. And I figured, okay, well, writing it down is good. It's helped before, but I always lose everything that I write down. How can I keep track of all of this? God, it's crazy. So after November and some of December, I finally came up with the idea of just doing a big haul on various journaling style books and some decorative bits and pieces, and just went for it. And I'm glad I did, because I would not have selected the things that I wound up using just off the cuff, because I would not have thought that they would work. So the first thing, the lanyard. Where did the lanyard came from? The lanyard came from a part where I did have a massive ring binder that I was using to organize my life. And that was really cool because it had some quotes from me. I'm just going to say this: if you can't quote yourself, who can you quote? Alright, you should be someone that you look up to enough to think about and go, hey, that's awesome. Okay, make your awesome so loud you can't hear other people's hate. That's something that I try to live by. That's my own little quote as well. So I started putting these little quotes, things that I said to myself over the years that I thought, hey, that's really good, that feels nice, I like that, and I like where it took my life. So I wrote that down and used a fun font in my computer, printed it off, and adhered these into various folder dividers, and that was really cool. One of the parts of this was a to-do list, massive to-do list, okay? And this is why journalists will tell you, at least I think the term is journalists, there might be another term. That's what I call myself anyway, just a personal journalist. So I wound up making this massive to-do list, and it had 66 items that I had to get done every day without fail. And I thought, oh my god, what am I doing? So I found myself continuing to run back to that book so that I would have some idea where I was in my day, because I couldn't memorize it all. And this is when I realized exactly how hectic life can be when you don't have a journal. And then I realized how hectic it can be if you don't have a journal that doesn't function properly for you, because I was always having to dry my hands in between this thing and that thing, or wash my hands all the time, and yeah, it did a lot of damage, and my nails just suffered immensely. Thankfully they've repaired from that. And it was just really crazy. I didn't like always having to run back and forth to and from my journal. However, I did like, and I admit this, the dopamine hit that I was getting from ticking those things off of the checklist. Now, I don't have the checklist running anymore, because not everything that is on this lanyard that I made nearly a year ago now is still applicable. And so I don't want to sit around and go, oh, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I don't want to make myself feel bad that way, because that's not what the journal is about. It's about what you've achieved and encouraging yourself to move forward, and then having something that you can look back at and go, wow, that's where I was in my life at that point. Look how far I've come with these little itty-bitty steps and these little bitty bites that I could do and manage each day. So that's how I got into it. You know, it was something that I needed, something that felt really good, and it was so nice to have all that information on paper and out of my head. I didn't have to track it anymore. Now, nobody else seems to be doing this, and I don't know why, but I just love the whole lanyard idea, especially when the information that I need has been laminated. And I even bought myself a laminator so that I could do stuff like this, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be running back and forth to that book like I was saying earlier. And if I'm doing dishes, the lanyard just goes back there, and it stays out of my way. I can be digging through the chest freezer, again, it stays out of the way. I don't have to fuss with it. And because it's laminated, maybe I've decided, look, while I'm downstairs, I'm going to check and see what else I've got going on here. I can look with wet hands, no big deal. And I might be doing some gardening. So, you know, gardening gets muddy, it gets dirty, it gets dusty. And quite frankly, you don't want to get your paperwork dirty and muddy and dusty, and you don't want to be taking your journal downstairs and getting all that stuff in it. So this is absolutely perfect for somebody who does a lot of messy work, a lot of outdoor stuff. Mind you, if you're doing dangerous things, you want to kind of take this off because it might get caught in machinery. I don't use a lot of machinery at the moment. It's mostly hand tools or gardening, taking care of pets and farm animals, that kind of thing. So it's all really just messy, sometimes wet, dirty, that kind of thing. So this laminated system where all of the print is really, really small worked out really well for me, and I still love it. A year later, satisfied with that decision. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that for yourselves as well. So that's all for this video. How you set up your laminated sheet is entirely up to you, but you need to choose those things that you know you have to do without fail every day. And maybe even throw in some stuff that will help you achieve those things that are more long-term goals. Like in this list, I have books that I'm writing. I also have books that I'm reading. So in here, I just make sure that I take time to read those things. I also make sure that I take time to take breaks, because there's little reminders in here, take a break, and fun things like that. So here I can see stretch a little. You know, I don't have to stretch a lot, just so long I maintain the flexibility that I have. And that, just at a glance, it's a happy list that really takes the hassle out of trying to remember everything that I've got to do. And if you want, you can even take, I don't know what they call them in other countries, but you can even take a China marker and just cross through those things that you've done throughout the day as you go, and it should stay there until you really intensely wipe it off, depending on the quality laminate that you have. And that's it. Just a really small font, print it off on your computer, and then run it through a laminator. Just use a little hole punch like I've done here to make the slot for the holder in your lanyard, put it around your neck, and then take it throughout your day. That's it, guys. I know I said like 5-6 minutes. It's been 10. Thank you for your patience. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay posted. I'm going to have some more of these. Cheers.